Hi, I'm Rahul Kulhari and I hate data science at Edge. I'll be talking about our machine learning capabilities and how we use machine learning capabilities across our products to fulfill the talent needs of our marquee customers. Now let's move to the next capability, which is search and match, which is very important capability, which is helping recruiters, hiring managers to fulfill the talent needs and the same time to discover the candidates. Obviously, what you will see when I'm going to talk about search and match, obviously three capabilities are playing important role, which are knowledge graph, which has the knowledge about all the information, JD analysis, which is analyzing the JD better, understanding the JDs to see the need of the recruiters and the users, resumes through resume parsers to understand the candidate better. But other than these three, our search and recommendation engine utilize multiple other capabilities to find out the relevant candidate for a job or for demand. And similar kind of process happens when we are recommending the personalized jobs to the candidate as well. And this is all possible because the kind of a data, the patterns we have acquired across the years from the largest customers we do have, and from the power of the data which we have acquired through our data annotators and the subject matter experts. Deep learnings in the space of the search and recommendation engine, which is helping you to discover the right candidates from the databases which customer have. So now let's understand about how we are helping customers, users to find out relevant candidates, and how do we say, okay, which one is the relevant candidate, which one is not the relevant candidate, and how do we enable them to discover the relevant candidates, and how do we tell them which one is the relevant candidate and which one is not the relevant candidate, and what is the process all about. I'm going to talk about our search and match process happens as part of our search and recommendation engine, which is helping users to discover the relevant candidates. And the process happens into the 4 stages. First stage is all about understanding the job and enriching the job based on the pattern which we have acquired. Second process happens as part of the engine is understanding the profile and enriching and inferring details about the profile. Third stage is figuring out the relevant candidates from the pool of the candidate. Fourth stage is figuring out fitment of those relevant candidates, figuring out the top candidates with respect to that job, and then doing the rankings according to that. Other than the process which we have seen as part of the JD analysis and the resume analysis and the parser, systems start looking at the job descriptions and iterating through each sentence, each keyword, each details which has been mentioned as part of the job descriptions and the skills to get the better idea about and to get the better contextual understanding about the jobs. And once it has acquired that information in the complement of the skills and the other pattern which it has acquired as part of the JD analysis, then it moves to looking at the resumes. Now resume, like I said, obviously we extracted the informations for the different use cases, but what we do when we are analyzing the resumes, we are looking at the information and we are trying to identify the personal information. And before we feed that information to our deep learning capability to find the fitment, we mask that personal information because we don't want that information to be creating any kind of a bias to the system to make the decisions. So we mask that information and we mask PII information or any of the proxy attributes which can create bias. And then it again look at the complete job descriptions to understand the way you have utilized the skills, the amount of time which you have spent, the kind of task which you have done with those skills, the output which you have achieved, and the possibility of those skills being used and the similar kind of skills being used in other kind of areas in the work, and what kind of work you have done across the projects, and possible future about and possibility about what are the other relevant skills which you could have acquired by working on the similar kind of skill sets across the years, and looking at this information and then looking at the information from job skills and the resume skills perspective by utilizing the power of our knowledge graph to building a contextual relationships between the job skills and the resume skills to find out and categorize them into the okay, what kind of relationships I do see between the job skills and the resume skills, and categorizing them into the 4 categories are very strong contextual similarity, very low contextual similarity, and strong contextual similarity, and the low contextual similarity. And these are the some patterns which I'm talking about here, but there are many other patterns which we do utilize to feed into our deep learning capability to find the fitment of those candidates with respect to their jobs. That's where all these informations are feed into our to find out the fitment criteria of those candidates with respect to them. So that's about search and match and workings around search and match. If I summarize a little bit on that piece, understanding the jobs, understanding the resumes, understanding the skills of the jobs and the resumes, those are very basic data points which you do require to find out the relevant candidates, but you need to understand how those skills has being used, what organization is trying to do with those skills. Does the candidate and what kind of work candidate is doing with those skills, how much time they are spending on those skill sets, what kind of tasks they are doing, what kind of output they are working, generating and achieving, what kind of movement they have done, what kind of domain company which they are working across, when did they last work on those skills, are they utilizing those skills as part of their recent work, recent projects, are they collaborating with during that work, are they doing the integration, are they doing the implementations, are they doing the full stack development. Understanding all these details are the additional attribute which will really help and which is helping our engines to recommend you the relevant candidates and also to make fair decisions and transparent decisions and bias free decisions. We are working across the innovation in the data space, and we are also working on innovation into the deep learning space to make capabilities more smarter and intelligent. At the same time, how can we acquire better information with the less data, and how can we manage with the less data, and how can we improve our system and our ML capabilities with the less, and how can we understand those tasks better, how can we understand those companies better, environment better, projects better, domain better, to give you the more better right candidates at the right time at the right cost and personalized jobs as well. That's how we at Edge utilizing these AI capabilities to ensure that organizations are able to drive significant top and bottom line outcomes in delivering their talent supply chain. We help you put your employees as well as the candidates at the center of the business decisions and making them feel valued, engaged, future ready. Our capabilities and product ensure you get ahead of the competition by making better, smarter talent decisions. And that's how we use Tech for Good. Reach out to us at info@gatedge.ai to explore how you could augment your talent supply chain outcomes. Thank you.